The other thing that we also get is that they don't start treatment. Of course, that leads to ill health. Their health comes down. So those are some of the things that we look at, and they're pointing to this aspect that men are lagging behind, and today we are taking advantage of this week of awareness creation for us to be able to talk about men and to request men to come out. One, do screening. There are many opportunities that are there to screen. I can tell you, there are many times, like when it comes to chronic diseases, how many men have we seen just going around their business and they fall and die? Why? Because there was possibly an underlying condition that was never identified. Why? Because men, we don't go to the hospital. And that screening becomes very important because it can be life-saving. Whether it is HIV, we need to do that screening. Screening here is testing. Think of things like hypertension, things like diabetes. And we have really quite a high proportion of men that are living with undiagnosed hypertension, diabetes. Looking at TB, it is quite not good to note that actually men are more affected than women when it comes to TB. Yes, and one of the reasons is that, remember, if you have undiagnosed HIV, it makes the body weak. So what happens is that you become more prone to the other disease areas, which include things like TB, and that's why we are seeing also men, when it comes to the men living with the TB, also becoming more. So basically, that is around the health-seeking behavior. The other thing is that is always what we talk about, being men, issues of masculinity, toxic masculinity. And the challenge with that is that men are taught to be men. And I've come to realize that most of the times that men are taught to be men, but never taught when not to be, when they need any attention. For example, can you imagine of a man going to see a counselor? What we always see is that for ladies, when there's something disturbing them, they'll have one option. Talk to somebody or possibly seek a counselor. But the many of the men, even the ones who are seated here, by the time that you see a man has been convinced to go and see a counselor, which they perceive as a sign of weakness, it takes more time.
But Joshua, is it easier for you if you're talking about men?